So students, so now in this lecture, let me make you understand about the water budget equation, right? After this, we will be going to the runoff, the measurement of precipitation depth, and some other topics, right? But if this concept is not clear, if I will explain you other concepts, they will be incomplete, right? So let us understand this concept, the water budget equation, and let's solve some one numerical also on this topic, okay? The water budget equation. Now, let me give you an example, then you will understand it more. Let's say that this is your catchment area. This is a catchment area. Okay. Now, what is a catchment area? Let me understand. Let me make you understand. This is a catchment area. This is a river. These are the tributaries. Let us say that these are the tributaries. Okay. Let us say this is a catchment area. Clear? And it has some, you can say, and this is going out. This river is going out. This river is coming from here and going from there. This is a catchment area. Now, what is a catchment area? This is very important because a lot of people fail to understand. The catchment area is the area which will contribute, again I am repeating, the catchment area is the area which will contribute in increasing the discharge of this river. Clear? Okay? It means that if I am taking this area into consideration, if rain will fall on this area, if precipitation will fall on this area, what will happen? Then some infiltration will be there, some transpiration will be there, evapotranspiration will be there, but some water will go to this stream. Clear? And that area which will contribute to the discharge or the volume of this stream is known as the catchment area, right? In US it is also known as watershed, right? Catchment area. In India and in Britain, it is known as catchment. And in USA, this area is known as watershed. Watershed. You must have heard about the subject watershed management, right? When I was in BTech, it was an elective subject, watershed management. Clear? Okay, so this area is known as catchment or watershed, right? Now let us say that some volume of water is coming. Let us say that some volume of water is coming VI. Let us say this VI. Clear? Let VI. VI is the inlet volume, right? VI is the inlet volume. Inlet volume. And let us say that after something will be happening, some evapotranspiration will be happening, some infiltration, some runoff will be there, and after some time, let us say that this is VO, out volume, right? Now VO is outlet volume. Outlet volume. Now what do you think? You tell me, what do you think? Will this VI will be equal to V naught? Suppose that 50 meter cube of volume of water is coming from this side. Will it be 50 or more than 50? It can change. It can be less than 50 or more than 50 also. If there is a lot of precipitation, it will be more than 50. If there is less precipitation, it will be less than 50. Why? Because there will be some infiltration also, evapotranspiration, right? Some runoff will be there, some water will go to the groundwater also, right? It can change, right? Okay, so I can say that if I subtract these two quantities, that is the inlet minus outlet, whatever the volume I will be getting, that will be storage, delta S, storage. Storage means this catchment has stored that water. It can either be in the form of groundwater, it can either be in the form of, you can say there can be some depressions in this catchment area. The water can be in the depressions, right? Or the water can be, let us say that a type of pond is there or some other thing is there, it can be in that also. Or if suppose that the plants also, they also carry some water on them, right? Which they do not transpire, okay? That water will also contribute to the storage. So I can say that the mass inflow minus the mass outflow is the change in storage. But remember one important thing, this is at a particular time t. At a particular time del t. This is for a particular time. It can be at 2 p.m., 3 p.m. or 4 p.m., right? There should be a particular time frame interval for both inflow as well as the outflow. It should not be like that you are measuring your inflow at 5 p.m. and you are measuring your outflow at 7 or 8 p.m., right? There should be a particular same time interval for those things, right? So for at a particular time interval del t, the mass inflow, the mass outflow will be equal to the change in storage, and this equation is a very easy equation. This equation is known as the water budget equation. This equation is known as water budget equation for a particular catchment area. Clear? I hope you have understood. Now, sometimes the numericals are coming in depth. Sometimes it is not given to you. It is not given to you that it is 10 meter cube or 15 meter cube. Some depth is given to you. So I would like to tell you that whenever we are dealing with the hydrology, sometimes what we do that instead of volume, we represent as depth. For example, let me give an example. Let us say that I give an example. Let us say that the volume of water is, let us say, 15 meter cube. Let us say it is not 15. Let us say it is equals to 10 raised to the power 5 meter cube. Let us say the volume of water for a particular catchment is 10 raised to the power 5 meter cube. And now you will ask me, sir, what is the area of that catchment? Because in hydrology, if you don't know the area, you are incomplete, right? So to have to be 100% complete, you must know the area of the catchment also, right? Same with goes with irrigation also, right? So area of catchment must be known. So now you tell me, sir, the area of the catchment, we measured it with planimeter and some other instruments. It came out to be again 10 raised to the power 5 meter square. Now just apply some mind. If 10 raised to the power 5 meter cube of volume of water is in area of 10 raised to the power 5 meter square, there will be some depth of water also, because volume is equal to length into width, which you have already got as the area, into height also. So there will be some depth of water, right? Now what will be that depth of water? It will be equal to 10 raised to the power 5 divided by 10 raised to the power 5. It will be meter, that is 1 meter, or I can say 100 centimeter. Now you will say me that, sir, in an area of 10 raised to the power 5 meter square, the depth of water was 100 centimeter. Then I will understand. Okay, it means that the volume of water would be 100 into 10 raised to the power 5 meter cube. Right? So I hope you have understood. If in numericals, I will solve in numerical also. If in numericals, instead of volume, you are given depth, then what you have to do? You have to calculate the volume, because this is in volume, right? The second thing is that, suppose in question discharge is given to you. Now you know that again in hydrology also we frequently make use of units. Right? In irrigation also, if suppose that you are stuck with some numerical, just check the units, you will get the answer. Even in environment also, in the activated sludge process, in your oxidation pond process, a lot of numericals are there. Even if you are stuck somewhere, just compare the units, you will get the answer. Right? It has happened with me a lot of times that I got stuck somewhere in the numerical, I compared the units, I got the answer. Similarly here also, if you get stuck somewhere, compare the units, you will get the answer, right? Now for example, if in question it is given to you, a discharge is given to you. What is the unit of discharge? Meter cube per second, cubic, right? If you multiply your discharge with time, what will you get? You will get volume. You will get volume. So suppose if discharge is given to you, what you have to do? You have to multiply your discharge with time, so that to get the correct volume. Clear? But the water budget equation is this only, right? Don't need to worry at all. Now let me expand this water budget equation. Now let me expand the water budget equation. Let me rub this. The water budget equation can be like this also. For this particular catchment area, what is the inflow? What is the inflow? If there is rain, there will be some inflow, right? So rain I denoted with the precipitation P. P is the inflow. Clear? Now inflow is P. Now what will be the outflow? Now there will be some runoff. Some runoff will be going to the outflow, right? Or what can happen? Just think. There can be some evaporation also. Clear? There can be some transpiration also. What is evaporation? What is transpiration? What is the difference between the two? When I will be explaining you about the evaporation in the subsequent topics, I will be explaining in detail, right? There can be some groundwater also. Some water may be percolating to the groundwater also, right? And other things also, but broadly these five things, right? It will be equal to delta S, change in storage, simple. Or I can also write it like this: P, take minus common, R plus E plus T plus G is equals to delta S. So this is a detailed water budget equation. Water budget equation. What is E? Precipitation, which is inflow. What is R? Runoff, which is going outflow. Evaporation, that is also going away from the catchment area. Transpiration, away from the catchment area. Groundwater, that is also away from the catchment area. So what are we are left with? We are left with P minus this thing is equal to storage, change in storage. Simple. Clear? Now I hope that you have understood the concept behind the water budget equation. Clear? Now, even if you have not understood it, let me make you understand by a very simple example. Let us say that you have a bucket and the volume of bucket is, let us say, 10 meter cube. It's a very big bucket. That's the volume of the bucket is 10 meter cube. Clear? You have put your bucket, let us say, under the sun. You have put your bucket under the sun and you have also made one hole in the bucket. Now let me draw it also. Now, to make you understand in a very simple terms, let me also draw it. I hope you are getting right. Now let us say that I have a bucket. The volume of the bucket is 1 meter, 10 meter cube. Let us say it is a very big bucket, 10 meter cube. Clear? Okay. Now I have put it in under the sun. Okay, under the sun rays. Okay, the temperature is 40 degrees Celsius. Let us say it is a 40 degrees Celsius. Clear? Now I have also made a hole here, which is continuously, there is some outward discharge also, right? And initially I have filled the bucket up to its brim level, that is 10 meter cube. Clear? Now I started this experiment at 4 p.m. 4 p.m. Clear? Now I recorded the volume at 4:30 p.m. 4:30 p.m. So what will happen? There will be some declination up to here. Now I will check the volume. How much is that volume at 4:30 p.m.? How much is the volume? So you will say me that at 4:30 p.m. the volume was, it is around, let us say, 5 meter cube was left. So 5 meter cube is the initially, 10 meter cube was the initial, right? Now minus, now 5 meter cube is left, right? So 5 meter cube is your delta storage, that is 5 meter cube, which is still left there, right? How much has gone out? Some will be evaporation, some has gone out from here. So I will say that this is your losses are L, losses. Now I will calculate the losses. So losses will come out to be 10 minus 5 is equals to 5 meter cube. It means that 5 meter cube of water has, you can say, left this bucket either by this outward, you can say, the hole, or by the evaporation. So this equation is known as the water budget equation. Very simple experiment. I have just explained to you in very simple terms that take a bucket, make a hole, right? Put the bucket under sun, let us say for 1 hour, for 2 hours, for 3 hours. After some time, what will be happening? There will be some declination on the water level. You will measure the discharge. You will measure the volume of the bucket, how much water is left in the bucket. That will be your delta as change in storage, right? And your losses will be, now these losses will be in terms of R. R is the runoff which is coming out, right? Evaporation. Now there is no transpiration because there are no plants, and also we are not bothered about the groundwater also. So your losses will be in the form of R plus E. So this X is equals to 5 meter cube. It will be in the form of R plus E. Now how much is R? How much is E? There are various formulas to determine R and E respectively. Clear? Okay. So I hope, students, that you have understood the water budget equation in a hydrologic cycle. Clear? Okay. Now let's move to the next topic and solve one numerical based on the water budget equation so that we further understand this concept. So let's move to the next topic. Thank you.